After the officer's shout told the top people to lie on the ground, they obeyed the same order as a dog. Next second. Like insect vinegar, insects do not have any resistance. When he was about to shoot his head at the end of the bullet, Mr. Down knew he was about to die but did not say that it was a protest, did not even have the courage to save Tio, his head being exploded. And this handsome man escaped in the row after escaping a life. Not only this time, he successfully escaped several times when the German troops were murdering, especially the last time. It could be considered as a master escape. This is a true story about the class escape. Specifically how, let's grind the movie. The whole family was eating rice. Suddenly, a bunch of German soldiers came in. The others stood up, but a disabled person could not stand up from the wheelchair. The two soldiers pushed the disabled to the balcony, not saying that it was directly thrown down. The whole family was taken down. Officers forced them to jog, but just run a few steps, the whole family died. Opposite that house is the house of Szpilman, the famous artist Doom Cam Pillage of Mrs. Lan. After the German army occupied this place, it has issued 4 regulations. Regulation 1, each Jewish family can only hold $2,000. The remaining amount will be either confiscated or sent to German bank. Szpilman hid money into the guitar. When the money of the whole family was only $20, he sold his favorite piano in a spear for only $2,000. Regulation 2. The store is not allowed to let the Jews come in, making Szpilman and his girlfriend no longer have a place to date. Regulation 3. The Jews are forced to wear a shirt, draw a star icon, otherwise they will be severely punished as prescribed. When his father went out, because he did not celebrate with the Nazi officer, he was beaten. The officer ordered him to look at the puddle. Regulation 4. Jews are forced to move to the isolation area. 500,000 Jews left home, transferred to concentration. Outside is built a high wall. Living conditions in the isolation area are extremely arduous, the strong robbery of the week. On the street happened, a beggar was robbing the old lady's lunchbox. The pair of cages fell to the ground, the left inside poured out. In the next scene, the beggar was converted to the ground to eat like a hungry tiger, just like a pig. The old lady was so angry that the hat beat the beggar. Seeing all the food is all clean, the old lady shed tears away. Nobody knows if the starving tomorrow is not her. The boy on the street hugged his father who died crying miserably, but no one helped because they could not worry about themselves. The younger brother Szpilman sells books on the street to come home. To come to this country, whoever reads books, a few days to sell a right. That day a friend came to find them. He came to introduce the work to you. The Jewish area is recruiting Jewish police, using people Thai to treat Jews. This job can at least help the whole family not have to worry about eating fat. But the younger brother refused, resolutely did not make a hunting dog for Nazi Germany. Because Szpilman's life works in a bar in the rich, playing rain to live the whole family. One night, Szpilman walked near the wall of the isolation area. The other side of the wall was constantly throwing items. A boy hugged his belongings from the pink hole, but the older boy went later, so he was not so lucky to get stuck. Szpilman hurriedly pulled him in. The Germans discovered, constantly beating the boy. But when he pulled out, the boy had stopped breathing. Szpilman had no other way. This meal can be considered the last dinner. The Nazis broke into the house, ordering everyone to stand up. The old man sitting in a wheelchair couldn't stand up, so he was thrown from the balcony to the ground. The whole family was taken to the street. The German soldiers ordered them to run forward, then started shooting. The whole family died under the muzzle. The soldiers welcomed. The car rolled through the body of their family. Szpilman's younger brother, because he protested against the police, was taken away. Szpilman had to ask his friend to be a police officer for the Nazis. The younger brother was saved. He despised Szpilman, lowered his head in front of the Germans, but his body was much more honest than him. The younger brother almost fainted. Szpilman took her brother to the restaurant that she played. In March 1942, the Szpilman family went to the concentration camp. They were arranged in the warehouse. Officers and everyone went out together. Szpilman said they had a business card and offered by the officer turning his face back. The officer chose a few people, the rest to clean up his belongings with him. A woman asked where to go. Where did the officer shot exploded? Everyone had to gather in an unable to go out. The girl takes another child to die. See who is asking for water. People have not finished worrying about themselves what to have water for her. A boy who was selling candy. Szpilman's father took out the last $10. Everyone contributed money to buy a candy. A tiny candy was divided into 6 parts. Nobody knew this was the last meeting of their family. The Jews were stuffed into the train like an object. Szpilman saw him, pulled him back, leaving him quickly escaping. Szpilman pretended to transport the body and escape a lifetime. On the large zone without a shadow, Szpilman cried out loud. A middle-aged person like him cried like that. The scene really hurt others. Everywhere is a rubble. He went to his restaurant to work, heard someone calling him, the boss who was hiding. Szpilman also came inside. The boss said he bribed a police officer. After the wind is over, he will come to pick him up. After that, Szpilman and the boss stayed in the isolation area. One day when Szpilman was working, officers concentrated all Jews, calling people who were old and weak, forced them to lie down on the ground, giving each one a shot in their heads. Finally, the restaurant owner, the boss, did not protest, did not scream. The officer changed the magazine, shot a fresh death. Szpilman escaped a lifetime again. At the construction site, there are people with blood chaos. Szpilman, John's friend. He told Szpilman who died of the train before a Jewish person. When he returned, Szpilman knew that all his family was in distress. 500,000 Jews were killed, only 60,000 people left. Lots of fighters fly over, drop down unknown objects. Szpilman looked up and waited for one, careful, causing bricks to fall filled. The result was used by officers in a painful battle. Szpilman did not dare to protest, quickly hugged the officer's legs until fainting. Everyone knows Szpilman is an Dongkum artist, so they changed him a softer job. Szpilman wants to leave here. He recalled the actor he used to meeting the previous day. Should ask John to find ways to contact him. Very quickly, John contacted the actor. They agreed to receive Szpilman. By the time of work, Szpilman removed the icon mixing into the crowd. Going to the last meeting point, also reunited with friends. The friend arranged him in a place. In this place, he could not make any noise, could not pull out. Before going, Szpilman an address. Tell him to find help at the most difficult moment. The Jews in the last isolation area could not help it anymore. They began to protest the Nazis. The two sides began to fall in the gun, but Hua luck was very clear. The Nazis still transferred a large buoy, shoot the wall to form aisle, then throw a lot of petrol bombs. The Jews have people dying. Some people jumped on the floor. Some living inside the house were also dragged out and were shot dead. Looking at Dong Chua's death, Szpilman suffered. Not long after, the actor was exposed and quickly escaped. He could not take care of Szpilman anymore. He told Szpilman if the Nazis found him, quickly jump the floor. In the building, very quickly, Nazi soldiers came to catch people. Szpilman imagined the scene of himself breaking the door of the floor. The clouds are only mistaken by him. The Nazis came to take others. Just the next day, Szpilman was so hungry that his abdominal skin was stuck to his back. One day to boil a few beans to eat. Finally, the potatoes sprouted and eaten. Szpilman carelessly broke the dishes. Ding Dong came to the neighbor's house next to him. She just looked at him. Immediately he was Jew. Szpilman had to cross his neck to run. Thanks to the emergency contact address and his friend brought him. Mr. La La Lan found the address. The person who opened the door was suddenly a girlfriend. Looking at her protruding abdomen, he understood that his girlfriend took another person. Without war, maybe I and she would become a pair of pearls. But now he has to run away. Her husband is also very meaningful, helping Szpilman arrange a new place. Opposite is the hospital and acupuncture points of the Nazi Lingduck, which is called the most dangerous place, the safest place. Because he wanted to disguise this place as if there were no people, his girlfriend had locked the outside door, wanting Szpilman to try to keep quiet. In the room there was a piano. Szpilman pleased to sit down. His fingers hit the air a song. Giving food for Szpilman is not trustworthy. Szpilman is often starved to meals. That day his girlfriend was about to visit to say goodbye. Szpilman discovered he had high fever. Thanks to her dedicated care, Szpilman kept his life, escaping a lifetime. In August 1944, the Allies landed in Normandy. Nazi Germany tried to resist. The Nazi Ministry of Germany was opposite to the key attacker. Often someone exploded to shoot each other, and there were people holding the RPG exploded bombs. The German troops directly drove the tanks to shoot at the big building. Szpilman was locked, so he could not escape. A float came, once punctured a large hole. He fled to the roof. The patrol of the German soldiers was seen by soldiers on the roof of the opposite house. The opposite opened fire. Szpilman quickly fled. When it was dark, Szpilman fled to the opposite hospital. Fortunately, there was still a bit of food in the hospital. Szpilman picked up a handful of beans to eat corn. Falling, the Nazi soldiers took the fire to spray each house. Seeing that he was about to die, he jumped out the window. Lot hung over the wall. On the street without a shadow, the room was only rubble. The hungry Szpilman went to each house to look for food. Finally found a close box. When opening the lid, the box fell to the ground. Szpilman was about to pick up. Just dumbfounded, seeing a pair of military shoes, a German soldier Nazi stood in front of him. This time died. Big life. But the soldier did not take the gun to sell Szpilman, asked his career. Knowing that he was an Donkam artist, the officer brought Szpilman to a guitar for him to perform a song. Szpilman has not been touched for a long time. In the middle of the moonlight, he gradually kissed the song, performing extremely excellent. Sometimes it is like a long, high mountain, sometimes melodious. At this time, the new officer knew the Jews dressed in front of him was a piano master. A few days later, the Nazis failed, must retreat. Last time, officers gave food Szpilman, seeing him dressed in a break style, and took off his coat to give him. The war was finally successful. Szpilman, wearing Nazi German clothes, was almost mistaken as an enemy. The Soviet Red Army captured a lot of Nazi prisoners. The officer who saved Szpilman was also in that sorrow. Loudly cursed the turtle. The officer rushed to ask if he used to write Szpilman. I saved Szpilman, hoping Szpilman could save me. But that Donkam artist did not hear what the officer said. After the war ended, Szpilman continued to play the piano for a broadcaster. One day, the other Donkam artist went to the station to tell Szpilman about that officer. Szpilman went to find a benefactor to save his life. The two of them went to the vacant lot where the officer was arrested, but this place had nothing. Speaking of the officer who died in a concentrated camp, Szpilman had 2 tears of tears, extremely mourning. Without that officer, I would die soon. The salvation of the lives of this lifetime could not be able to tea any more. Later, Szpilman performed concerts all over the world. He played the piano for a lifetime, also lived for the piano. On July 6, 2000, Szpilman died, 88 years old. This is the end of the video. If you like it, leave a like and subscribe so you don't miss my new videos. Thanks for watching, and see you again in the next videos.